It's wet, it's cold, it's windy, and it's also the perfect time to come have some fun in the mud, especially so with a bike like this. This is Yamaha's new WR250F, and for whatever reason, I've got that golden ticket to come here to Rogers Hill Raceway and give it a bit of a wobble around. And I mean that in the literal sense, because I'm useless off-road. So if I'm like you and you want to see how competent this bike is and how incompetent I am, keep watching the video. So that's it, day done, and I'm absolutely knackered. It's been an amazing time down here in Dorset, riding the new WR250F. I kind of didn't know what to expect from it. In the past, I've ridden a few enduro bikes, but I've never really took it seriously. I don't know that much about them. So again, this video isn't for you. If you want that kind of premier analysis of it from a pro rider, switch off now. But for other people like me, that are just keen off-road riders that get out occasionally, especially so in the winter, then keep listening. First of all, I should probably tell you about the day. So we've been riding in the woods, we've been riding in open fields where you can kind of just drift the rear end. We've been riding on a motocross track. We've been kind of riding here, there and everywhere in between. So we've had a proper grasp of this bike, and I feel like I've got to know it quite well. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the engine, because it feels the most potent 250 enduro bike I've ever ridden. Now there are two modes on this as standard, and you can map the bike as well. But with this bike coming out the showroom as it does, costing £7,799, it comes with two base maps, and I've been riding it around, if I'm honest, in the lesser of the two maps. So if you're into sports bikes and you know what an R1 or an R1M throttle feels like, you're going to be able to relate straight to this bike. It's so aggressive on the pickup, even in the lesser map. I've never known a bike quite like it, so torquey, so low down, and it probably took me the best part of half the day to get my head around how the fueling came in, how the power was delivered. It's actually quite a linear spread of power once you get going, but that initial pickup can catch you out. And my answer to it throughout the day has been to almost be almost like a gear higher and just power my way through corners. And the good thing is, because the motor's so torquey, you can do that, and also it just has given me another level of control that I didn't have before. Throttle pickup is harsh, delivery is linear once you get going, and then when you are full throttle, I've had a couple of occasions where we've been going across the fields, flat in third or fourth or something like that. It really does steam on, and it's such a beautiful, silky smooth connection as well. When you are rolling on or off the throttle, it's a very direct translation. The only thing when you are rolling off the throttle, this bike feels like there's a lot of engine braking, and again, through some of the tighter wooded sections, I found two things that, you know, if you're not careful, you go and roll off, and say if you're in second, and actually, arguably you could be in first or second, that engine braking slows you down so much, it can catch you out, it can make you have a dab when you don't want to dab, or, you know, almost provoke a stall or something like that. So you've got to watch the engine braking. Again, I believe that can be mapped out with this bike. But overall, it's a really impressive and usable and fun engine. It's great for just hooking a wheelie whenever you want, or just having the casual slide out of here, or, you know, if you're going up to a jump and you think, okay, well, I could do with going a bit faster, it doesn't take much encouragement to get up to speed. So the brakes really impressed me, especially the front. It's nice and usable. It's really quite potent, but it doesn't just lock up and catch you out like powerful brakes do. I mean, don't get me wrong, and maybe it's something to do with the setup of the bike as well. It just seems to get great purchase to that front tyre and haul you up quite quickly. As for the rear, I mean, that is, again, it's another powerful anchor. It's quite prone. You haven't got to press it too hard to get that thing locked up. But I mean, it's a fun thing, you know, when you go stamping on that rear brake and you can just slide the bike into a corner or whatever, or come to a stop or whatever. It's a practical but fun application on the bike. And yet again, like the rest of the bike, they've got the potential to deliver an amazing experience, or, you know, for someone like me to just get you from point A to point B safely and securely, knowing that when you want to stop, you can stop. The handling. Again, I'm coming at this from a kind of a novice perspective. I have enjoyed the way this bike holds the line. I've kind of altered my position on the bike throughout the day. I'm now sitting a lot further up towards the tank, and trying to do the things that I should have been doing from the start, like most natural off-road riders would do, but for me, it took a bit of learning. What I have found is when I've got my weight forward, there's so much contact and grip and feel through the front tire. It's fantastic. And that allows you to have a right laugh with that rear end. At the start of the day, I was kind of sitting too far back, opening the throttle, and I was kind of here, there and everywhere with the rear end. And it was hilarious, but sketchy as hell. And yeah, it's probably, it's given the guys a few moments, as well as myself actually riding the bike. Yeah, I kind of learned to put myself right on the bike, and also learned just how competent the chassis is. It's a tweaked chassis for this year. So basically, it's similar to what the model had before, but they've altered the thickness of the frame in key areas to get the right degree of flex. I think that's pretty much the score with it. But that combined with some decent suspension, I think it's KYB suspension, means that you get quite a plush feel from this. On the motocross track, I did find when I hit a jump, again, arguably, it probably had a lot to do with the way I was riding it. It would bottom out, and the next thing you knew, you were in a spot of trouble because you had no suspension. Yeah, so I mean, again, it's all adjustable suspension, so maybe I just need to have a twiddle with it, or maybe I just need to learn how to ride it properly. But yeah, it's one of those things that I think that's more me than the bike. The bike, as I've got better throughout the day, has given me more and more. I've had so much more confidence. I've enjoyed all the feel it's had on offer. As I said, especially on this track here, Rogers Hill Raceway, the grip levels have been fantastic on the motocross track, but also on a lot of the trails. So another great thing about the bike is how agile it is, how precise it is, and how easily you can kind of change the direction through weighting the pegs. I mean, it's a given thing, pretty much on road bike or off-road, weight the pegs and you're going to pull it in towards a corner or whatever. But on this bike here, it just felt so sure-footed, and the minute I started pushing the direction I wanted to go in, I could get the bike steering without putting any pressure through the handlebars or anything like that. It's pretty awesome, and I guess reassuring for someone like me as well, when you're blasting along a trail and suddenly there's a big pothole that appears, but you don't want to have a yank on the bars, put the weight through your pegs and just goes where you want it to go. It's awesome. Amazing guys here today riding, some proper professional endurance riders, and watching what they can do on this bike is exceptional. It's so capable. I could only ever dream of being anywhere near their league. I guess to round off, it's a fantastic, exciting package. I think it's got the potential to be really competitive. If you want to go and do some club racing enduros or something like this, straight out the crate, you're going to have your hands full. You're going to have a weapon here that's going to deliver, in that 250 class. And I think, like I say, for someone such as myself that would probably just go down the odd enduro track every now and again, or hit green lanes, it's such a fantastic forgiving machine. I've really enjoyed it. I rate it really highly. Like I say, I don't know as much as what some of the other guys know in this sector, but from my point of view, it's got me around, it's kept me safe. It's been one hell of a ride, and I would encourage you to pop down your dealerships. It's pretty much in dealers as of now, so the end of 2021. It's a 22 model, but if you go down there now, you'll probably be able to check one out and get your hands on one. So go see it, get one ordered.